Hey, what's happening, everybody? Yes, it's time for Three Guys Before the Game. We welcome you in, we welcome you back. Studio filled, the senator on board, the dean on board. And we got one for you today. By popular demand as we continue our summer interview series. Former Mountaineer quarterback Skyler Howard is our guest. And we're going to jump right in. Three Guys Before the Game presented to us for you, the people, by Caesars Sportsbook. Download, get started, risk-free bet of up to $1,100. Check it out. We'll tell you about that promo coming up. By Comax Business Systems, your full-service Konica Minolta dealer. Go to Comax Business Systems at comaxwv.com. And by the Burdett Camping Center, the only warranty forever RV dealer in all of West Virginia. Visit them at burdettcamping.com. If you see aerial images and photos and video of the Masters golf tournament over the next several days as the Masters is played out, you get that high shot. They'll show you some parking lots just filled with Burdett campers. Phil and the boys have brought them all down in there to Augusta, so you'll see Burdett campers just throughout.
Should send one down to pick up Skyler, bring him back for a game next year.
We could do that.
Because here's the thing. If it breaks down on the way back, then there's no problem because you got a warranty forever.
Warranty forever. The only warranty forever RV dealer in all of West Virginia.
I think Tiger Woods is staying in one of them.
Yeah, that could unconfirmed. But
thought I heard that.
Tiger might be staying in a Burdett camper.
Something
all right.
like that.
So we had Nathan Adrian on the program earlier this week, and I've got an update on his injury.
Yeah.
I talked to his dad, in fact, and we got an update on his injury. I'll give that to you in just a little bit. But first off, let's jump in. Our special guest of this 367th edition of Three Guys Before the Game is former WVU quarterback Skyler Howard. Hello, sir, and thanks so much for being with us.
Yes, sir. Honor's all mine. It's good to hear y'all's voices again.
Same here. I'm going to call you something that you've never been called before.
Uh-oh.
I'm just going to jump right in and do it.
Go.
He's a bottle of wine.
Question.
He's a bottle of wine, man.
Appreciating as the years go by.
Just
right?
keeps getting better and better and better and better as time has gone on. I would jump out here. I will jump out. Perhaps the definite top 5 most underappreciated, and maybe it's not top 5. We might be able to go top 3 pretty easy. Agreed?
Agreed.
Yeah.
Might go higher. Might be all time.
Might go higher.
We can have the conversation. We don't
have to talk about him like he's not here.
Well,
he's here.
Well, he's not going to say, I agree, I am. I mean, I was just going to.
He might.
Well, I don't know.
He should.
He should.
He's the Rodney Dangerfield of Mountaineer football players, I'd say that. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, I'm on board with that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So anyway, now that we've been talking about you, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Just focusing on my family out here in West Texas. Got a beautiful baby boy.
Awesome.
Just turned 1 in March. And just living life, man.
So at a year, we're starting to get a first few syllables that sound like words, starting to pull himself up, if not walking already. So you're into that whole thing, right?
Oh, yeah. He is you put him down and he's gone.
Did he get the ability to throw the deep ball like you? Does he have the deep ball gene? Do we know that yet?
A little early now. I mean, it's a little early to put the ball in.
He said he's won. Don't you know by now?
No, not quite yet.
He's got a couple footballs.
Oh, yeah, I figured.
Footballs, yeah.
I figured.
Well, the kid's in Texas, and his dad's a former
star
quarterback.
I know, but I mean, it won. I mean, let him get to 3.
Might be running routes.
Jeez. He probably will throw that deep ball pretty good. What's his first name?
Holt, H-O-L-T, Holt Hughes Howard, Triple H.
Triple H, H cubed. H cubed.
Well done. He's got a nickname. He's got a good PA name, right? He's got a good radio name. How would you say that? You want to do a call?
Sure.
Yeah.
Pass completion by Holt Hughes Howard for 16 yards, first down. Yeah, that goes well. Yeah, H cubed. So when you say West Texas, that's a
big area.
That's a pretty big area. So what city or what would we know? How far away from Lubbock?
The Midland, Odessa area.
Okay.
Yeah, I was out here working the oil rigs a little bit, then got a call. I actually just signed with the West Texas Warbirds indoor football team, so knocking that rust off a little bit. Had to get to work. Blue collar, never been afraid of that,
Yeah.
Mike Joseph, shout out to Mike Joseph.
Yeah.
So can you play ball and still keep the job?
No, that's a long day right there, and you're usually on location.
Right.
That's 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. if you're on days, 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. if you're on nights, and it's usually out in the middle of nowhere, so
Right.
I'd have to drive back a couple hours for sure.
Okay, so give us the skinny on this football league. So what's the league? Who are the teams? How old are you now? What's still in the tank, man? How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling, I'm not as big as I was at WVU. Another shout out to Mike Joseph. I miss those days. And I'm feeling good. I'm spinning it like never before. It's an indoor league. I think they play in the ASA. It just happened real quick. I was just on the rigs a couple weeks ago, and then was able to get off of that and start focusing on ball again. It's just a blessing for real. Wasn't looking for it. Wasn't actively searching for a team or anything like that. It just kind of happened.
Right.
You are amazing. You just keep playing. I mean, I wonder how many times people in your career have told you, well, it's over, well, you can't play anymore. I mean, you were at Riverside City College. You went to WVU. You played there. You got drafted. Didn't last there, but then you went to Canada. Then you went to Japan. Now you got this. You just keep playing.
You didn't even throw in Stephen F. Austin. You got to throw in Stephen F. Austin where it all started. Yeah.
That's the God thing, man. It's a God thing. Not only playing, but winning.
Yeah.
Get that.
We want to get into
Yes.
that.
Oh, we'll talk about that. Don't you worry.
So how old are you? Are you what, 20?
He's 27.
27?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you still got a ton left in you, dude.
Did you have to
Yeah.
think about this, or when you got a call, you said, absolutely, I'm right in? What was the internal debate?
Internal debate was providing for the family. That was the main concern, because that's why we actually moved out here to West Texas not even too long ago. I'd say 1st of March, and we did that because the schedule in the oil field is 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, but I'm a grinder. I was taking those 2 weeks off, and I was working over a lot of the time. And so I think the first, when I broke out in the oil field, I think that I was gone like 6 weeks at a time. And I came home, and my son was doing things different. He was waving. He was talking more, and that took a toll on me, seeing how much I was missing, And so we hadn't bought a house yet. I didn't want to buy out here in West Texas for sure. We want to find our forever place for sure. So our lease was up at the time. Made the decision to get them a little bit closer, and then got a call, and then just never looked back. Just kind of trusting what God has going on, just like always, man.
Who'd the call come from? How'd they know where you were? How'd they get a hold of you? How'd they even know you wanted to play? What was the connection?
Well, I said I wasn't actively looking for it, but I actually called them, but not for football purposes. They had I was looking. The oil field was taking a toll because I was working over so much, like I said. And so, I am educated. So thanks to WVU, I was looking for opportunities in the oil field for sales, for marketing, for anything outside of the area where I could be home every night.
Right.
And so I saw there was an opening for the team for a sales position, and I called them. And I said, hey, I saw there's an opening for the sales position. I just want to get a little bit more information about that and just kind of chat with you for a little bit. And we got talking, going back and forth. And I said, if you don't mind me asking, what is your position with the organization? And he laughed and he said, well, I'm actually the owner. And I said, okay. Well, are y'all in the market for a quarterback? And I said,
Awesome.
Yeah, I got that little itch back, and he said, well, I'm always in the market for a quarterback. We actually got a tryout this weekend. And I was like, well, I'll be on my hitch. I'll be on the rig, but I'll see what I can do. And it worked out where I got some guys to cover for me and showed up, and there it was.
First ever, no player coach, but quarterback / salesperson. I love it.
Sales rep.
I go out, throw for $550, and then just go sell the corporate package on Monday. Perfect.
So when you walked out there for the tryout, were there other guys on the field at the same time, QBs, or did they bring you out there separate?
No, it was the open tryout. It was all positions: QBs, running backs, receivers.
Okay, so you walk out. Probably give it that couple arm circles. Get a little arm circle, get that thing loosened up a little bit. You start zipping it around. How many throws did it take before you knew that they knew that you were the guy?
I was warming up, and you hear some talks. I don't. You can't help but hear things, but I'm not listening. But you can't help but hear things. And they said, keep it clean. Where the heck did we find this guy? And they said, well, he found us.
Yeah.
And it was just, I was just happy to be out here. And, getting into the oil field and ended up in West Texas, it doesn't make sense until it does,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's kind of like the story of Skyler's career. Where do we find this guy?
Yeah.
Right?
Every time.
You see every time. Where do we find this guy?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the story of your life right there, brother.
Yes, sir.
And overachieving at every level. Let me, Skyler, let's go right to the 1 yard line here. When you were at WVU, 19-9 overall, 524 completions out of 917 attempts, 57% completion. You ran for 1,100 yards. Your senior season, 10-3. You had a bowl victory in there. But did you feel unappreciated?
I'm jumping right into it.
Absolutely.
No, there was times, you don't play for the praise. You don't play for, I don't play for the opinion of others, for sure. I play to win ball games, and that's why I went to WVU. And I felt like that was my main focus. There might have been some comments here and there, where I might have felt one way or the other and vice versa. But, it's just a blessing to be there, honestly, and trusting what the process and making those relationships with those guys. And, the appreciation aspect of it, that doesn't really mean much to me. I do appreciate the ones that do appreciate the work that I did put in, because I did give WVU everything I had every day, every time I stepped on the field. But, the appreciation, it is what it is, and I can agree. It's like wine. I keep up, and, people, there's a lot of apologies, not needed, not that they're needed, but, people reaching out and saying, hey, man, sorry for this, sorry for that, which I don't need it. I'm fine. I enjoyed my time there, and I forever will cherish those times, and it's not a damper on it at all.
Yeah. Let's go back 4 steps. As we said, Stephen F. Austin, then Riverside. What was the first touch that West Virginia made with you to get you to Morgantown? Who was the first person that made the contact, first memories of that starting to happen?
It was Shannon Dawson.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, and then Dana actually came out to Riverside, and we talked and about just like the Big 12 and the chip on my shoulder, getting back at those Texas teams and just all of those, and then just built from there. And when Dana came out, I was like, oh, this is the real deal. If you would have told me in high school I would have been starting in the Big 12, I believed it. I put the work in because I believed it, but it just didn't really seem like it was going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And for the record, correct, you walked on at Stephen F. Austin, correct? So you literally had no scholarship offers?
No, none. And me and my mom, we sat there at the dinner table, and we did it the old school way. We went A to Z, printed out A to Z, D1 and D2. We sent a CD out. We emailed the video. We called, followed up, highlighted A to Z, highlighted it off. Went from D1 to D2. So literally every school in the country got Skyler Howard's high school tape, and I had put myself in a position to graduate a semester early, and when my senior season ended, I was like, well, I'm gonna take my chances and getting into spring ball early. Maybe it'll help me get on scholarship earlier, and I got a chance to walk on and ended up doing well. They moved me to running back. I did well, but then I didn't feel like I was going to be on scholarship as fast as I wanted to be. And I wanted to play quarterback, obviously.
I think what it does, I mean, what you just said there, if there's any question, all-time ballsiest move ever. Mark it down. Mark it down. I mean, not a single. Now we're not talking about Power 5. I didn't have any Power 5s. Or I didn't have any, right? I had none. I had zero.
Had none, and finish, as we're looking at it now, you sit, Skyler, 4th all-time in career passing yards here. The only 3 names above you, Gino, Mark Bolger, Will Greer.
Wow.
Which, by the way, if we could go back, Dana screwed something up there.
What's that?
Skyler's 52 yards shy of Will Greer. You got to find those 52 yards. Skyler, we got to get 52 yards in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Get them back.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's one more deep ball there, and boom, you're third.
There's no rules now.
Yeah, that's
Just have
true.
them come back.
We could add it. We can just add it, retroactively.
Dude, 4th all-time, 50 yards from 3 after not having any scholarship offers.
That's the all-time great. That's what it is. That's the all-time great story right there. That ranks up there with Rich Braham, who came to West Virginia as a walk-on. That's one of the all-time. That's all the way along all-time good ones. What was your first? You mentioned when Dana got there, you knew it was serious. What was it like playing for him?
It was something, something I always appreciate about him is he takes what he has and he's going to figure out a way to draw something up that works best for what he has.
Yeah.
And I took that creative mind with me everywhere that I've been. I took it to, Japan. Took it, just was able to adapt to what I have and draw up some things and that put our guys in a position to win. Just the creative mindset. You can't get much better than that.
Which I thought was really on display in that 10-win year. I thought, quite frankly, Skyler, that was his best coaching job because he went away from what he normally has done and did exactly what you said, able to run the football behind that offensive line and then take the shots deep with your ability to throw the ball deep. I thought that year really encapsulated that.
He was Coach of the Year that year, I believe, right?
It might be. Was he? I'm not sure. I don't recall, but that was if we were voting.
You agree? Best coaching job.
Best coaching job ever because he chilled it out, let the defense gave the defense a breath, established the run, and Skyler, your ability to run was absolutely massive to that team. How many times did you keep drives alive to help the defense stay off of the field? Not only people might talk about your passing, your ability to run the ball was massively important.
And then suck the defense up, boom, hit him over the top.
Exactly. Do you have a game or favorite games from your time at WVU?
You can't beat that Cactus Bowl.
Nah, I'm with you on that. Five TDs, all right? 5 TDs over 500 yards. I was just looking at those numbers.
See, that's where there's got to be 52 yards in there somewhere. I mean, he threw for how many in that game? Five what?
He threw for 532, 5 touchdowns with a long of 64.
That was a good one.
I mean, we might want to pin it. Like we called, Sills caught one. How about that? Sills caught one ball that entire game.
It was a big one.
It was a big one. One for 15. You hit Shelton 4 times for 143 and a touch. Karan White 4 for 116. DeKeel 6 for 97. Jordan Thompson 4 for 80. Gary Jennings 2 for 68 with a touchdown. And then the winner to David Sills.
Jeez.
By the way, that game was so late it just got over. I mean,
Yeah.
it was ridiculous.
How did you, when you played in Japan, were there mostly Japanese players or American players, and how did you deal with the language issue there?
It's mostly Japanese. You're allowed 2 Americans on the field at one time.
Wow, just 2.
And so it's a Japanese-driven league. Coaches are mostly Japanese. And so getting there, there was a language barrier for sure. But I ended up learning quite a bit of Japanese. And they had a tutor for me, which really helped. And And at the end of the day, football is football. It's universal. And so I installed some signals that kind of helped us, some little things that, again, that I took from Dana. It's like that's a third language right there. I remember he would start signaling a play, and he wouldn't even have to finish it because I knew what was coming. And he would do it so quick, because when we play those teams like Texas and OU and OSU, they've got 12 guys up in the box with binoculars looking at both of us. So
Right. Yeah. Right. I got to ask you this. We always say there's a West Virginia connection. During your time in Japan, did you ever see the Flying WV or get a Let's Go Mountaineers from anyone?
So, yeah, it happened for sure. But one thing that sticks out is they don't speak a lot of English. You think, they would. I think they learn it early in school, but then it's mostly Japanese, like everywhere you go. But they love karaoke. Karaoke is their thing.
Oh, here we go.
And
Country Roads.
If there's one song they know every word to, it is Country Roads. And they would actually, they would sing it. They would sing it after we win.
Really?
For sure.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, that's awesome. You were the MVP of the Pearl Bowl. You led the Seagulls in 2018 to the Pearl Bowl final. You win the game 28-2, safety there, and you were the MVP. What kind of crowd and how excited, how big did people get into it there?
It was played in the Tokyo Dome, which is pretty cool. It's a converted baseball field, kind of like Chase Field was.
All right.
But it was a good atmosphere. There's a guy that has a microphone in the stands that kind of gets the people going, and they love it for sure. It's not the biggest sport in Japan, but it's growing. I think it'll continue to grow. The more Americans that go over there, the more American coaches that go over there to develop the game, the earlier they can start with the youth. It's all growing, but the game itself, they're exciting, man. They get loud. They get loud for sure.
It's awesome.
Are the rules the same or pretty similar?
Rules are NCAA rules.
Okay.
That's what I really liked about it.
Okay.
Yeah. What did your favorite food become when you were over there? What did you find, or what did you lean on there?
Can't beat the sushi. It's just so fresh.
Yeah.
Never was a fan of raw fish until I went over there. And, it's so fresh. You go to a sushi place, they grab the net, they grab the fish, smack it on the head, fillet it, hand it to you.
Yeah.
And it just melts in your mouth.
Yeah.
But then there's another one called shabu shabu, and it is they bring out this boiling pot, and they set it on the table. It's got a little grill on the table where you can just keep it boiling. They put seasoning in there, spices, whatever you'd like. And then you take these little slivers of meat with your chopsticks, and the motion is actually called shabu shabu, and you just kind of swish it in the water. Usually dip it in a raw egg, and there it is.
How about that? You're probably not finding that out in West Texas, probably not?
No, I'm sticking to the Tex-Mex, and I'll grill myself. But, no, it's kind of – I was spoiled for so long with the fish. It's hard for me to come back to the States and do that. But every now and then I'll get hibachi.
You got to go to hibachi and go like, man, if you really ever knew how real it was when it was the real deal. So let me ask you this. When and whenever that is, again, as I said, you're still young. When you're done, do you see yourself maybe staying in the sport in some capacity? Does coaching or the sales side of a pro team or something like that, would you like to live in that world, or when it's over you might just go a different direction?
I've thought about it a lot, and football, to be around football and get paid to do something around football, that's the idea, right? Because your body will only last so long,
right,
no matter how good you are. And I've been thinking about it a lot, and I'm sure when my son gets to that age and he starts running around and I got some guy over there trying to coach him, maybe doing a good job, maybe not, but either way, I'm going to want to be the guy to coach him. So I'm sure it's going to come, and that's really when it's going to hit, where I want to get in coaching.
Yeah.
But, for now, I've been thinking about it. I don't know, man. I'm taking it one step at a time. But I'm sure I've been thinking about it, about coaching him for sure, having a baby boy and thinking about his peewee days and stuff like that. And that was a lot of thoughts that I was having out there on the rig too.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know how long I was going to be doing it. And, I was thinking about the things that I was already missing and the things that I would miss, when he's 4 or 5 and he starts wanting to play sports. And
yeah.
Have you been back to Morgantown or back to a game?
I went back in 2017 for quite a few games, I believe.
Yeah, I remember seeing
it.
Yeah.
But since then I haven't been back. No.
What do you miss about Morgantown or playing? What stands out?
The game day atmosphere, for sure. Saturdays, you can't beat Saturdays. There's a lot of guys that I worked with in the oil field that they would work up there in Pennsylvania, and they would have stories about Morgantown. I love hearing it. Because they were there in 2014, and they said, "Oh, y'all beat somebody," and it was when we beat Baylor and Trickett and Kevin White and those guys.
Oh yeah.
When we beat Baylor, and the town actually just went nuts. I remember watching I think a dumpster was on fire just going down High Street.
Yeah, that might have happened. Yeah. As Dana would say, guys, pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, from a different perspective, these guys down here, they're like, yeah, Morgantown's crazy.
Yeah. Those guys, so let's talk about that oil rig world. That's a whole different world. Like you just said, like those guys were in Pennsylvania doing it. Now they go to West Texas and doing it. You're saying you work 2 weeks, you can take 2 weeks off, but you can stay. You just live out there. Like, what do those cats make in a year? Like, what's one of those guys able to make if they're working pretty hard overtime? Like, what do those guys walk away with?
Every position is different, for sure. But I started at the bottom, and so I was working floors, which is you maintain the rig, you clean the rig, you repair things, you make connections with pipe, you move pipe, you roll pipe, all the heavy labor, lifting, you are the guy. If something needs to be done, if the windows need to be cleaned, if you got to go up and clean the camera, put a harness on, go up and clean the camera. But then all the, pulling the slips, everything. So I started at the bottom, and you can make good money, especially working over. I say average, and it all depends on what oil is at too, average probably like 90 a year if you work your 2 weeks and 2 weeks off. But I was trying to double that.
Yeah, I figured.
Oil's hot, and oil's hot right now.
Yeah, man, I figured. It's
hard work. It's got to be that. And you're not afraid of hard work. I know that, but that's hard work. That's work.
No, it's work. It takes a toll on your feet, body, your mind. Which is all fine, because that's all stuff that I've dealt with. Your story, you got to go to practice. You got to run law school hills. You got to do these things when you really don't want to. So that's fine. The part that is the hardest is being away from your family.
Sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. You mentioned Mike Joseph twice. What makes him special?
He cares. He cares about his guys. He wants you to be in the best possible shape, mentally, physically, that you can be as a person, as a man. And he leaves you, when you leave WVU, you leave better because of Mike Joseph. No matter what, I don't care if you entered the transfer portal, if you got hurt or whatever, you leave a better man because of Mike Joseph and the guys he brings in around him, for sure.
Yeah. He teaches you how to be a man, basically.
For sure.
Yeah.
With the transfer portal and with COVID, you could still be playing somewhere here.
We can get him in, I think, yeah.
Could have been somewhere, yeah.
We can get you back.
And we can get those 52 yards. I'll call Shelton.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's one fly pattern. You got it.
It's one fly, and you're going to drop it over. But Shelton was interesting, wasn't he? You could throw him a ball over the top of his head and drop it in like a pillow, and it was going to get caught. And then sometimes you'd throw an absolute laser beam from 15 yards away, and it would bink. That was an interesting dude. I'm just saying. You know that. I mean, that was it. Your long ball, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
His long ball was perfect.
Your long ball
As
was
good as anyone that's played here.
featherish.
Yeah.
Why do you think you throw the long ball so well? And again,
What was
it's
the
one
key to
thing to
that?
throw a distance. Okay, guys can throw a distance. How did you learn to place it the way that you did?
Reps, just repetition. I think I brought Shelton down. It was either spring break or a little week we had in June or July. We had a little break, and he came down to Texas with me. And it was like, it must have been in the summer because it was like 110. You could see the heat just coming off the turf. And I had him out there just running. We were doing conditioning, and he was just running those go routes. And I was just dropping it in. He's from Cleveland. He's not used to this at all.
Right.
And I think that time it was early in our career too when we did that. And I think that really, from that time on, that's when I remember it just being automatic.
Yeah, it was.
You know, you obviously you had great belief in yourself, clearly. But when you arrived here, given the lack of offers, when was it that when you got out here and lined up against everybody else that was here, that you went to yourself, you went home at night and said, yeah, I got this. I'm going to be successful here. What was the moment that it hit you?
When I agreed on Dana Holgerson's roof that I was committing there. And when he said, what are you going to do when TCU comes offering you next week? I said, I don't care. They had their chance. I'm a Mountaineer, and they're going to have to pay for it. That's when I knew, before I even showed up. I think it was December when I flew out there for a visit. That's when I knew. And so I already knew coming in that I was going to do, obviously I was going to do everything in my power, but at this time, it's a God thing that I'm even here. And I'm not here just to be here. I'm here to win ball games. I'm here to compete.
Great stuff, man. Excellent stuff. We really, truly appreciate it. I know a lot of our fans really appreciate it, those that requested you to come on. And then I got some text here from today that when they knew you were coming on, and several of them said, would you please apologize to him for everyone? So you are, like I said at the beginning, you're wine, man. You're like, you're just going to keep getting better over time.
For sure.
So
for sure. And that's a testament to that team too. I was on a great team, and we really brought everything together. We had a couple losses, but that team was amazing.
Yeah.
From top to bottom. So that's a testament to those guys too. I wouldn't be able to have the success I had if it wasn't for those guys. So I really appreciate that. And apologies, they're not needed. I appreciate all Mountaineers, the good, the bad, the ugly. I appreciate it all. We're all once a Mountaineer, always a Mountaineer. So I take that with me wherever I go in life. I'm sitting here looking at the WVs all over my house, and I represent it everywhere I go. And so it's not needed. It is what it is. I appreciate y'all, but it's not needed.
Awesome. All right, man. Well, listen, once your little guy gets old enough, it'll be a great time when you bring him back here to Morgantown to watch a game. That'll be truly a special moment. It'll happen faster than you can imagine. Trust me, he's going to be 5 before you know it. And the time will be set up to get him back over here, and it'll be great.
For sure. I can't believe he's already won. We've already tried to – we got plans to get up there.
Awesome.
My lady went to OSU. She rodeoed there, so house is
really?
divided.
Wait a second.
Hold on. Hold on.
Time out.
We might need another podcast with your wife.
Yeah, really.
Did you say she rodeoed there?
Yes, and her name is Virginia.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Virginia, and Skyler went to West Virginia. But so she was a rodeo person there.
Yeah.
Wow.
She did all around.
So she's tougher than you is what you're saying.
I don't know about that, but she's a tough one for sure.
Man, that is for real there. That's for real. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Does she have a lot of orange stuff in the house?
A little bit. I try to hide it, stick it under the bed. And, I think our boy had a onesie, a cowboy onesie, and I was like, ooh.
Fix that.
Yeah, fix that.
Fix it. No half jerseys either. It's only the Mountaineer jerseys.
I mean,
no half jerseys.
Yeah.
with all due
Gold and blue on it.
Yeah, but that due respect, as you know, Skyler, that gold and blue is such a perfect color combination. You can do a lot with that. That orange, man, that's hard. That's good for Halloween, but other than that, Halloween is okay. But other than that, I don't know what we're gonna do with that.
And he's got blue eyes, so it just
good.
The yellow, blue. So
awesome. Well, listen, man. Thank you so very much for your time. We do appreciate it, and our listeners appreciate it. Stay well, and we will watch you as the league gets under play. When's your first game?
April 16th.
Okay.
Quick.
We'll keep people up to date. Thanks, man.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. There
Thanks,
he is.
Skyler.
There he is. Skyler Howard. Well, that was good.
That was fun.
That was good, huh?
That was really good. And again, I know I handled it with great aplomb and class because he was underappreciated at the time for whatever reason, and maybe he said a couple of things that further inflamed that. But looking back and you look at his numbers, the numbers speak for themselves. The wins speak for themselves. That long ball, and then on the field, Brad, the long ball he could throw, that third and long, and he could take off. He had the wheels. I don't think there's any question that in terms of name players, that in the modern era, the most underappreciated player.
The numbers really are kind of stupid, to be honest. Now, I wish I hadn't seen the 52 yards. That's going to eat at me. That bugs me.
That kind of stuff does drive you crazy.
That just makes me nuts.
He was 52 from being what?
Third
all time.
Third. So 53 to break to move into third by himself. He's third in touchdown passes all time, guys. Geno and Will are the only two. He's ahead of Bolger, White, Marshall, Major Harrett, to name a few. I mean, the dude did have an unbelievable career.
He's ahead of Major and
ahead
of Bulger in touchdown passes.
Yes,
and really, he played 2 years and 4 games. 2 years and 4 games. Now 1 year was 13 games, but also that senior year, I'm looking at the lineup. That was a good team. Okay, let me give you some names. Russell Shell was on that team. Kennedy McCoy, Martell Pettaway, Shelton Gibson, DeKeel Shorts, Karan White, Gary Jennings. He had good receivers, right? Tyler Olosky was on that team. Colton McKivitz. Let's see. On the defensive side, Al-Rashid Benton. David Long was on that team.
You had some pros.
You had a couple, but it's not like you have 15. I mean, I think
Douglas. It was a good team.
You got 3 or 4 pros there. Yeah.
What you got to have.
That's what you got to have. But you also have what you have there. Yes, you have 3 or 4 pros. Okay, you got to have that. You also have a bunch of guys like a Skyler Howard that were really, really good college football players. So that's what it is. It's sprinkle in some elite talent at some spots, have some really good players. And I think what stands out about him, and I don't know if you knew this when he was here, you knew the story about it, but you don't hear from them most of the time when they play here in long form like we can in these shows. That's one of the disappointing things, that you don't really get to know these guys unless you're up close with them. Hearing him talk about that and some of the attitude, and yes, he mentioned the chip on his shoulder when he got here, but think how big that chip was, right? And think of that attitude that he takes where he goes into the oil field now. That's what allowed him to get up every day and go run Law School Hill and not bitch and moan and complain about that. Just like, all right, this is what I do. I'm going to work. You got to have that. You got to have that attitude.
I would be open for someone to tell me, someone who was less recruited that did more in the history of Mountaineer football.
Well, the only one you can think about is maybe Braham was recruited. He was a walk-on.
But Rich did have an offer to Virginia Tech.
Yeah. I mean, and Skyler didn't have any, and he walked on to Stephen F. Austin, and he just keeps playing.
He's still playing. I mean, Anthony, we know this conversation because we've had it a bunch. Braham's in there, Anthony Beck's in there, but they had offers.
Owen Schmidt.
Yeah. Owen Schmidt's in. I mean,
in that kind of.
And that's what when I was saying the other day that West Virginia is built on those guys.
Yes.
That's the example. That's what it's built on. There isn't NIL money there. That Skyler Howard didn't need won 10 games as a starting quarterback with help from guys around him. That's what this program is built on guys like that have come in and turned out to be better than anybody thought they were going to be.
You do have to give, based on what Skyler Howard said, you do have to give credit to Dana Holgorsen for Skyler Howard, right?
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. Like you said, he can run offense, man.
He can run offense, and I thought Skyler said it well. Getting things out of players that you didn't think they should be able to do. I mean, that's Skyler in a nutshell, right? He shouldn't have been able to walk into a program that's this storied, that kid with no offers, undersized, should not have been able to walk into this program and produce those top 5 numbers, career numbers, with all the greats that have played here. That's a credit to Skyler, but that is also a credit to Dana's ability to get that out of those guys on the offensive side of the ball.
Three Guys Before the Game is brought to us by the Caesars Sportsbook. Check this out, folks. Caesars is giving a feast. A feast, I said, Hoppy, to new users. And by feast, I mean a $250 Uber Eats gift card. Here's how it works. You wager $50 on your first bet. Win or lose, you'll get a $250 digital gift card for Uber Eats. Make sure you use the promo code RADIOEAT. That's one word, RADIOEAT. After you make your deposit, you can bet on all your favorite sports, NBA, whatever you'd like. Brand new baseball season starts, in fact, today. Caesars Rewards, every bet you place, win or lose, closer to home, to redeeming great benefits, tickets, free stays, experiences, and much more. You must be 21, physically present in West Virginia, new users only. For full terms, check out Caesars.com/promos. All games regulated by the West Virginia Lottery. Please play responsibly.
Wait a minute.
What?
He passed. Is this right?
What?
He passed for 60 touchdowns. That's not right.
Yeah. Why?
He passed. Are you sure?
Well, that's what it says. That's why he's third all time.
Yeah, Hoppy. He threw for 60 touchdowns and only threw 24 picks. So basically 3-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. Yeah, that works.
Holy cow.
Threw for 7,302 yards. Yeah.
Why was...
He ran for 16 touchdowns.
Yeah, you said that to him there. That's an underrated, appreciated part of him. He could run it.
Dude,
yeah.
In his last year, he ran for 10 touchdowns. Basically won a game.
Why is he not remembered as in the same league as others?
That's a great question.
Why?
That's a great question.
And I got to think back because I remember, and I'm not sure why. I mean, it was a rough year before the senior year.
Senator, what do you think?
I also don't have a great answer for that.
Well,
What do I think about that?
We need to take that into a subcommittee.
Yeah.
Figure that out. And one of those committees Hoppy always talks about on his political affairs coffee klatch. They always have committees upon committees upon committees. Can we get a task force?
Well, task force never does anything. Subcommittee probably, but maybe it was the not such a great year before the senior. I don't know. I mean, the numbers are the numbers, but was it?
Yeah, that could be. Was 2013 just so dreadful?
It wasn't dreadful.
They were 4-8. They were 4-8 in 13.
Was.
They were 7-6 in 14. They were 8-5 in 15, and then 10-3 in 16.
So it probably has a lot to do with the thing was going so well, right? So many wins for that program in that immediate time preceding Dana arriving. And then you had the 1 year pop where it's Orange Bowl, so it's continuing to go up, and you think, okay, it's continuing to go up indefinitely, right? Now you're rolling, it's going up, and then the thing started to backslide, and you're holding on to the edge of the cliff, and your fingers are slipping, and the rocks are starting to come down, and you have that just dreadful 2013, and then it took some time to build it back up, and it was coming immediately after such a great period of wins that I think the losing was magnified because coming off of what you were just coming off of, I think.
So let's go all the way back. This is why, Hop. I think I found out. From 2002, this is the win totals. 9, 8, 8, 11, 11, 11, 9, 9, 9, 10, 7, 4. So that's why.
Yeah.
That's
okay,
why.
but he wasn't.
No, he wasn't. No.
He wasn't there. I mean, he was. I mean, he only played 2 seasons and 4 games.
But I guess what we're saying, because then when it started to dig out, getting to 10, like if you bop off 10 wins next year, because you haven't been there since that season, 10 wins next year is going to look like 20 wins, right?
Yeah.
You're going to be like, here we go. Here, look at this. But 10 back then was like, well, yeah, you're finally back to where you're supposed to be. It wasn't the recognition that 10 gets after you haven't been to 10. Does that make sense, or did I just talk?
Yeah, no, I'm just looking at it. But
that's the Bill Stewart situation. 11, 11, 11, then 9, 9, 9, and everyone's bitching about 9.
Yeah, like what's going on?
What's going on? 9's not good enough. Well, would you take 9
now
today?
You take 9 right now.
Yeah.
Look,
you win 9 next year, there's parades happening.
Okay, so 2014, he played in 4 games, started 2. Okay, whatever. 2015, 8-5. If I'm looking at the right numbers,
Correct.
8-5, 26 touchdown passes, 14 interceptions. Ran for 6 touchdowns. You would take that this year today. Ended
the start of the season. They had a 4-game losing streak. Oklahoma State, Baylor, and TCU, but then finished winning 5 of 6.
Well, maybe that was it. The losing
beat
streak.
Texas Tech, beat Texas, beat Kansas, beat Iowa State, lost to K-State by a point, 24-23. Now that wouldn't have been the game where we kicked to that punter, would it be?
Might be.
Anyway, and then beat the Arizona States 43-42.
So here's the other thing, as we're now just having our subcommittee on the air. Think of what that position was coming off of. Rashid, Big East Player of the Year, rolls right into Pat White, one of the best to ever do it.
Yeah.
Rolls right into, shortly thereafter, Geno Smith, that was putting up ridiculous numbers. So the Skyler's numbers, if you take them next season, you would be beside yourself giddy. But coming off that run of multiple players of the year, best to ever do it type guys, you looked at 26 and 14 and went, well, you can give me more. You can't give me 40 and 7 there. What are you doing? Mm-hmm. So I think that factored in as well, why you underappreciated what were really ridiculously good numbers, but they were coming off an era when it was just stupid what that quarterback position was producing.
Yeah.
I mean, just take those 3. Rashid to Pat to Geno.
Yes.
I checked on that Kansas State game. They returned a kickoff, 97 yards, fourth quarter.
Yeah, probably shouldn't have kicked.
Morgan Burns, no relation to Frank Burns of MASH fame that I know of.
Or the former coach of
Frank Burns of Rutgers. Yeah. Recently passed, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, recently passed, if I'm not mistaken. You guys,
Well, that was good. I'm glad that was all you. That was a good job.
No, it was not me.
What? I thought
I did not schedule that interview.
What?
Who did?
Our boy behind the wall. We got to give him some love. I don't know why Hoppy's always attacking him. Jonathan, Taylor County, Tyler Consolidated, Kennedy.
It's a good get. It's a good
He
get.
did it.
Great get. Good job, Tanner.
He's got Greg Jones, Mountaineer Wrestling great, scheduled for Monday.
Barring any late-breaking weird news.
Yeah, last time we had everything
Mesdor decided he wanted to bounce.
Everything go awry. Oh, sweet mercy.
Well, point being, that was fun. That was great to catch up with him.
Well, I mean, that's what we do in our summer series. Is it too early to call this the summer series? I'm calling it the summer series.
Go ahead.
Yeah, baby. Sing to me. That's right. I like it, huh?
Oh, this is the other version.
This is the lady. Eastern Panhandle.
Yeah, it's good.
She's also a belly dancer.
Excuse me?
Yeah. She's a belly dancer and a singer.
My goodness.
I like those people. I like people that are diverse. Don't sit around and they do stuff. You can be a belly dancer. You can be a belly dancer and a singer. Why can't you?
She can, not us. I mean, we can't do that.
I like her.
Nobody wants that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Textual Healing brought to us by, we need a sponsor, don't we?
It really should be a
Why
sponsored
don't you get
segment.
what about that doctor that does that likes the colonoscopy joke we use, the GI doc? Why can't he sponsor it if we're doing healing, right? When you think?
Could be a healthcare
I'm
situation.
sure that our crack sales staff,
Well, I'm sure they're listening right now.
Yeah.
As soon as this comes out, they'll hear that and be right on there.
Our
That'll
sales staff?
crack sales staff,
probably get done by next episode.
that I'm sure they listen to this podcast. When you say, I'm sure they listen to all the episodes, right? Probably.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
Sales is hard, though.
Excuse me?
It's difficult.
Yeah, tell him. Tell him it's hard.
No, he'll tell you.
No, he won't say it's hard. He'll say that he sold 7 figures consistently.
Had a great product, too.
Tens of millions. If you want to be exact.
I bet you there's some people on our sales staff that you'd have to get their phone and say, you see the purple icon? That's where you play the podcast from. That's one right there. He just hit that one right there. That's how you're going to get it.
Why you got to hate?
I don't know.
Well, why you got to hate? You took a shot at me. I wasn't even taking a shot at you. Give me that. You got a good product.
It was a good product.
So is this. I don't know why you don't want this show to be sold.
So you can't be good at sales unless you have a good product?
That's not what I said.
Was it good all the time?
That is not what I said.
How was the asbestos
That's
year?
not what I said.
How'd the asbestos year go? Did I just not sell because we couldn't win any games that year?
He didn't say no.
I can't sell anything. Sorry, can't go out and sell today. Don't got a good product. You're no good.
Man, I like it. Now we got a little tension and edge
you
in the
show
air.
up and you go to work.
I understand
It doesn't matter
that.
if the product is good or not.
I understand
it was
that.
an
It's not what I
unnecessary,
said.
ridiculous comment by you.
It was not.
Unfounded.
So you only have good shows when there's political chaos?
See, that's
No,
what
that's
you,
true.
what
That's
you do
right.
is
That's
you,
right.
You're trying
Right?
to
There's
reframe what
when
I
there's
said.
political chaos, he has a good show. Otherwise, he doesn't have a good product. He's just on the air
You
filling
couldn't
time.
sell it. Let me tell you something. My guy could sell ice to Eskimos if he wanted.
Over there just taking
Just
gratuitous
say, oh, yeah, you had a
shots.
great product to sell. Yeah.
I mean, you want to come out and sell something? We'll go out right
No,
now and
I
sell.
never
you
said
want to come
that.
with me and
See,
sell?
That is classic when
Let's go
you're
sell.
trying to recategorize what
That's a guy
I
that's
said.
never sold, doesn't know anything. Guy never sold anything.
He couldn't sell.
No, sits in here by himself, just talks.
Yeah.
Well, we can do that too. Oh, we do that too.
Steam release, steam
Oh, I
release.
can come on here and do it. I can talk.
I couldn't sell because as soon as I got rejection, I burst into tears. You mean you don't want it? No, I couldn't sell.
Text.
Go ahead.
Text number 1 comes from P1 Jason in Dallas. Over under 91 yards rushing per game for Lynn J. Dixon. Charles Sims ran for 91-2.
That's a lot.
Under.
Yeah, it's under.
Multiple options. Part of that's because there's going to be multiple options, so not just one back.
Yeah.
Because really, Letty was one back for basically 2 years with nobody else getting any carries.
Still couldn't
and
do it.
was just right at that 100-yard mark. I mean, that's a big number right there.
Agreed. But he also didn't have an offensive line. Texter, Grant from Parkersburg, Kansas winning a thrilling national championship over North Carolina is all the proof that you need that you should never, ever, under any circumstances, cooperate with the NCAA. Yeah, I mean, they kept pushing the can down the road, and they got a natty. Now, will it be vacated in time? I don't know. We'll see. I mean, Oklahoma State certainly suffered this season for errors that none of the players committed, and the staff, for that matter. They suffered it, so potentially that could go away. Oh, I wanted to tell you before we do all the text, before I forget. So we had Nathan Adrian on Monday, and he said that he was injured, and he said he had the MRI, and the MRI didn't indicate that there was anything wrong. I chatted with his dad this morning, and he's got a couple of things going on, and he has a double sports hernia.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's surgery time, right?
Right, yes. Yes, it is. And so...
How about him trying to play through that? Like typical of
tough
him.
guy.
Right? I mean, he did that with one arm in the NCAA tournament.
I think he's still,
separated shoulder played with it.
I think he's still going to try.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's still going to try. Do you know what Kevin said in that text? I think. And anyway, he's going to come back here. It's about a 4-week recovery after he does eventually have the surgery, which he will do here. He might not even take any anesthesia when he has it done. He'd probably just take about 5 shots of that limoncello.
Just have a mirror and do it himself. When he's laid up, we all got to go. We got to go see him. All 3 of us just go in.
Yeah,
go see him.
So we'll take care of that. Texter. Hello. Travis in Las Vegas by the way of Polka, home of the 2022 state basketball champions. Not sure if you remember, but I was the guy that was working on the Raiders stadium, and I got blood clots in my lungs, and I laid in the hospital listening to all of the back episodes of Three Guys. I just wanted to update. My lung is doing great, but this past football and basketball season has been hell on my heart. Y'all mentioned coming out for the Summer League, NBA Summer League, kind of jokingly, I know, but I know all the good spots to eat since this has kind of turned into a food podcast as well. I can even get you a West Virginia slaw dog. I love the show.
No, we're threatening to come out.
Glad Travis is doing well. But that was not said jokingly, though. Let's be clear.
No.
I really want to go out
Well,
to
you
the
can
Summer
write
League.
it off. I mean, because of your
travel reimbursement. Yeah, I think we can get reimbursed for some of the expense.
You work
Just
for
turn it into the club.
Yeah. So
how are the wives going to feel if the 3 of us go out?
Doesn't matter. Hoppy. Doesn't matter.
But maybe it's not.
Here's
maybe
the deal.
not figuring 3 guys.
My
Maybe
wife-
Brad's going to go, and he'd really.
My wife would not care. Now, if I say, hey, thinking about going to Italy with just the guys, That doesn't happen. Like you might as well just non-negotiable. That's not happening.
Understood.
But like if I said, Joan, I'm going to go to Vegas, she'll go, dude, go. I don't care. I don't want to go there.
Well, go one step further. If I said I'm going to Las Vegas and I will be spending the day in a gym watching NBA games, but I'm scouting, would you like to come and help?
No, she's out. She's out.
We have to spend all day in the gym?
Yes, we're working.
Yeah.
Coming, yeah. I don't even get me started.
Not sure I want to go now.
Tim in St. Albans.
We're going to watch ball.
Well, I watch ball some, but then like, hey man, 2:00. I gotta
Go get lined for the buffet.
go get a cocktail line by the pool.
You got to remember, when he goes to Vegas, he's got to do something. I mean, remember he attacked Larry King in Vegas?
That is true.
That is true. He's got to go find someone to accost. Tim in St. Albans, 3 guys. I love the podcast. You're going to talk to Skyler Howard. The thing I remember, but I can't seem to find on the web, I vividly remember him getting planted by an opponent early in a game. No penalty was called. It was terrible. But he picked himself up and played a terrific game. Was that the Cactus Bowl? Tim in St. Albans. I don't recall. But
tough guy, though.
He was hard. I mean, he was hard.
Tough guy.
Pigpen writes in from Boone County. I would like you to interview Kim Stevens. When I was just a piglet from Roane County, I used to listen to Bob Edwards announce the Pioneer games on WVRC radio.
He's still doing it.
Is he? And got me hooked on Glenville State sports, so this run for the championship was special to me. Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah,
I'd like to have her come up, Senator. You think you can negotiate that, have her come up maybe?
In studio? Yeah, that would be good.
I'd like to do that.
Well, they're having they had a big thing yesterday with a parade, and then they're in Charleston today. So they're getting well honored across the state.
Was the Mountaineer basketball coach down there at Glenville?
The head basketball coach was, in fact, there for said event.
The Hugs, yeah, because I saw a picture on Metro News. The Hugs was there, took a team photo with the Glenville Staters.
He did.
Yeah. He's a man of the people.
That banner looked good, too. They turned that banner around quickly.
I didn't see the banner.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I
got a video on the website, the banner dropping down.
I think schools really screw that up.
What do you mean?
By waiting till the next season?
No. The quality of the banner that they put up. Like,
did you see the banner?
No. I'm not. This is away from Glenville State. Let me make a point.
All right, sorry.
I think that they should do a much better job. They call it a banner, but I'm much more of an advocate of a much stronger material, even if it's not a banner. I need like a massive framed something that just absolutely pops. Here's what happens. I go into gyms.
Yeah.
And I see some banners hanging. The air system blows them around a little bit. They get a little bit wrinkled. They get a little bit. I think those things should just be absolute like spectacles that are like always in perfect lighting and perfect form. I don't think they should have any movement or fragmentation to them.
Disagree. I like it when you go into a gym, an old gym.
That's a beautiful banner, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I said. They did a nice job on it.
No, that's a beautiful banner.
It is.
Where'd they get where do you get that banner? I mean, you go to Bridgeport
Banners
to get that?
are
or
us. Banners.com.
Senator, is that Billy Reap down there in Bridgeport? He does those. He does that. He does that stuff and does T-shirts, and they just called up Billy and just
said, no pixelation on that logo when they had to make it bigger.
Oh, I'm sure they used a vector file.
I tell you what, they went all in for size. We got a natty, and that sucker's
By God, they should be the size of the top of the Waco Center.
Yeah, no, I would.
You just want a natty.
If I want a natty, I'd get. You know how like they do at a football game sometimes? They do the national anthem and they cover the field with a flag and everyone stands underneath it. That's how big my banner would be for a natty. That's what I would do.
Go back to banners. Your thing about it should be framed and perfect, and somebody should wipe with Windex every day. Don't you like it though when you go into a historic location and there's a banner up there that's faded and kind of wrinkly, and it says winner of the 1938 Olympia Conference.
Yeah,
and I like that. That's neat.
So I'll give you that for the 38 season, but it's a new era. I want a damn hologram now. I want that thing to be like a fluorescent hologram with just movement. That's what I want. I want it to look like a picture frame in a Harry Potter movie. I want some action.
Hologram.
Calling for holograms.
I just think they always screw that up. John, near Philadelphia here, has Wellington Smith been on 3 guys? I don't recall. In my opinion, he's the unsung hero of the Final Four team. We haven't. Have we?
Have we not had Wellington?
We had him on when he got awarded something.
Maybe, have we just had him on that show we do in the evenings?
The one that Hoppy's trying to dethrone? Sports Line?
Yeah, the one he's tried to dethrone, the second version. I mean, he does a morning version of the sports show. We do one in the evening.
He does the JV.
I don't think we have had him on Three Guys, which that should be correct.
John, it's good. We'll get him on. I just talked to him, probably 6-8 weeks. I saw him at the basketball practice field. He's got beautiful little kids running around taking jumpers.
Looks like he'd still play. I ran into him on vacation last summer. He could still play.
His daughter's got it. Yes. Anyway, yeah, we'll do that. This next text is wild. This is from Winston in Princeton.
Hello!
I know the last time I texted, you guys expressed some doubt about Winston being my real name. Unfortunately, not only did my parents decide to make my name rhyme with our hometown, I guess they also wanted to raise me to the second power because Winston is also our surname or last name.
Wait,
his name is Winston from Princeton.
No, that's not true.
No, it's not true.
It absolutely is true.
It's not true. No way.
Why do you say that? I mean,
Winston?
Why do you question people when they come in and reveal their heart?
Because that's a thing on this podcast. You made it a thing. With
What?
the name or with the first letter of the town they're from or rhyming with it. You made that a thing.
Well,
I think this is a thing. His name's not Winston, is it?
no, I bet you his name's
From
Winston.
Princeton.
Yeah, I bet you his name. Yeah.
He did sign it Winston from Princeton.
Well, there's a kid that I'm just looking it up, Princeton, West Virginia, on Google. And, yeah, I mean, so I'm sure people that went to school with him are going to call or next show are going to verify, yeah, I went to school with Winston. So, yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't do that.
Appreciate him listening and texting, but I need some verification of that. Anyway, did he have a question or was there more to that? Didn't mean to get you off track there.
Yeah,
he does
have a question. It's for you.
Oh.
If you were to set the odds for JT Daniels' landing spot between Missouri, Oregon State, and West Virginia, where would the Mountaineers sit? Thank you, three guys. Winston from Princeton. Good thing they didn't name him Marlboro.
It's a good question. I don't have enough information right now to put odds on that. Need to do some investigative research there.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Hello, Tony, Brad, Hoppy, longtime listener, Vic from Polka. I watched
that sounds like it's real.
That's his real name, sure. I watched the intro of Dawn Plitzowite during her press conference. I was totally impressed. I wish her and her staff nothing but the best. I hope they can build on what Coach Carey accomplished. After doing a little research, I noticed her son plays at the University of South Dakota. Is there a chance that Coach Huggins would be interested in adding him to the basketball program, similar to Coach Beeline adding Patrick when he came to West Virginia? So a couple of things. I asked her specifically, and she said no. He's staying at South Dakota, where he sat out last year. Now, I would also say this. With the transfer portal, that down the road potentially could happen as time goes on. You just don't know. I'd never say no. Right? Things change.
Oh, yeah. I had her on the morning sports show today, and very impressive, I just had answers to all the questions. Answers made sense. I mean, I don't mean to sound, patronizing about that, but just sound like she had it together.
Yeah, she's got it together. Yeah, very, very impressive. Three Guys Before the Game is brought to us by Comax Business Systems, your full-service Konica Minolta dealer. Go to Comax Business Systems at comaxwv.com. They got everything. They got a copier. They got a fax machine. Probably got a collator.
Historic fax machine.
Got everything. But the biggest thing they do right now is they'll come into your business absolutely free and do a complete audit of the safety and security of your networking. Are you protected properly? All the hackers are out there, and if you say they'll never get me, not so fast. They will come in and let you know where you're good and where you are bad, and they can help you out. It doesn't cost you a penny for them to come in and do this computer colonoscopy. Visit them at comaxwv.com. That's comaxwv.com. Just for the heck of it, I'm going to give you the phone number because I guarantee there's not a single person that's going to write it down. 888-483-7440. That's 888-483-7440.
Just Google it.
Going back to sales.
Comax.
Yeah, Senator, did you ever have any? Well, no, you wouldn't have because you were selling a different type of product. Like a lot of times businesses are
great product.
Businesses are adamant that you put their phone number in their commercial. We have to have the phone number in the commercial. We have to have the phone number in the commercial. Okay, fine. Yeah. No one's, unless your phone number is 222-2222, forget your phone number. Take it out. Texter, hey, three guys, is it fair to say that Pat McAfee is now the Joe Rogan of sports talk?
He's having a moment.
Yeah, he's at the cutting edge of the new world of media. He has created a media empire, and it's totally granular. It's totally organic, and he is the icon of how to do it. Just fascinating. The thing about Pat is this. I think the last time I talked with him was at a Mountaineer game when he was doing ESPN. He is absolutely so smart and gets it. Mm-hmm. But he plays,
Oh, a good point. Yeah.
He plays the part. Hey, and he's playing chess. Everyone else is playing checkers. That's the key to his success.
The other thing that he is and has is he just doesn't stop.
Yeah.
Right? He just goes and goes and goes and goes.
Yes, correct. Ready for a text?
I thought we'd been doing texts.
Ready for another text?
Yes.
Boy, ever since he got shot down on that sales attack that he put on you, he's gotten a little bit.
He's not shot.
He's all snarky.
No, it's not the case at all.
No, he's going to try and backpedal. He's all snarky.
No, I wasn't backpedaling. I stand by what I said.
Yeah. Ridiculous. I stand by what I said. How the asbestos year go? Is that a good product?
Well,
I think I'm going to talk slower and slower to force him into his.
Not keep talking in general terms.
I think I'm going to go.
No, you
just throwing broad sweeping statements out there.
No,
just ridiculous comments. Don't worry, that'll never come back to you. I'm listening to your show every friggin' day now. You better bring it every day. You're getting texts. Talk about Steam release. You're getting one this Friday, brother.
Hey, next time you get one of those texts that says,
"Hey,
Brad,
your show sucked. Why aren't you on the ball today?"
You better not suck tomorrow in the opening segment. I'm on your butt.
Well, you know what? Get in line because I get a lot of those.
Next time he sends you that text early in the morning, hey, can you come on the show about 11:40? Just give him a blank off.
Haters.
You started it.
How did I?
Three Guys Before the Game is brought to us by the Burdett Camping Center. They're the only warranty forever RV dealer in all of West Virginia. Unconfirmed, but it is believed. They have about 50 to 75 recreational vehicles in the parking lot at the Masters for this week's event. And if you're not at the Masters, you can just go to Winfield because they have them there at burdettcamping.com.
Joaquin Newman has one. He's -3. He probably has one.
Nota Begay. burdettcamping.com, located in Winfield. They happen to be the only RV dealer in West Virginia that offers a warranty forever.
Bubba Watts.
The only warranty forever RV dealer in all of West Virginia.
Jack Nicklaus.
Scottish Scheffler. Bryson DeChambeau.
Did you see Gary Player on the par 3? He's 87, 88 years old, and he knocked one right up by the pin.
You know his whole physical fitness regime, don't you?
It's crazy, right?
Legendary.
Yeah,
legendary. And that's what I think you have to do. And Senator's trying. I mean, he's doing a lot of flexibility and things like that.
Did some yoga this morning, in fact.
Did you?
Vig?
No, my other stuff.
Oh, your other thing?
Yeah.
Is that working?
If I would do it more consistently, it works. Yeah. It's amazing. It really is amazing. Got to stretch.
Yeah.
You got to get on that. At your elderly advanced age,
you're right.
You have got to stretch.
Got to stretch. I know.
I shouldn't preach it to you.
I don't like to stretch. You know what? I'd rather go out and run 6 miles.
I hate it.
Than stretch for 5 minutes.
I hate it, but that's when you're in the situation you're in right now, and it's remarkable you've lasted this long being upright. You want to continue to be upright.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to stay upright as long as you possibly can. The difference is remarkable. And it's like, I'm not talking I'm grinding for an hour a day. I did 25 minutes because I'm so not flexible. 25 minutes.
You feel great when it's over.
It really is remarkable.
Yeah. Feel great.
PSA for the day.
But
Stretch.
you don't, do you enjoy it?
Yes, it's fun.
No, I don't because it's moving too slow. I got to go to the next thing. I can't relax. Let's go. But at the end and throughout the rest of the day, I feel better now than I have at any point in the last 2 weeks when I've been off at doing other stuff.
Really? You can have fun when you watch Vigue and do it. Vigue's funny.
What's Vigue?
Guy named Sean Vigue, Vigue.
And he does stretching?
Huge YouTube following, and he does yoga. He does everything. He does Pilates, yoga. Funny as heck, Hoppy.
I'm tight. I can't even look. That's as far as I can trim my
Oh, yeah. You're about 3 months away from being absolutely inability to ambulate.
You get down there and you twist and lift up, and it's...
I got this thing going.
I mean, I'm embarrassing how poor, how not flexible I am. I mean, it's a joke. You just got
really? You're not? Can you touch your toes?
No. I mean, no. I can't turn around. I can't. No. No, I can't do anything. My arms don't go back. No.
My arms don't
All of it. Everything's off.
Arms don't go back.
I'm trying, though. I recognize there's a problem, and I'm trying to fix it.
I got this thing going right now. Yeah. I watched this video on the YouTubes, and this guy says if you do this for 2 weeks, it'll take away all back pain. And so I'm about 4 days in. It's just a simple exercise.
Yeah, but
that's a simple exercise. I'm going to do it for 2 weeks. Early indication is yes.
Good.
It's firing some lower extremity muscles that don't often fire, and so you build the strength up, and it absolutely helps. So I'll let you know. Remind me in 2 weeks.
Well, let's send Kercheval a link so he can get on that. 20 minutes a couple times a week. You don't have to do it every day. Just start mixing it in.
Okay.
I'm about done with him. I mean, I'm about to send this to Hoppy, do this for Hoppy. After the way he attacked you, totally unfounded.
True.
You know, he comes in here right after doing his show, and he fires away at people for 2 hours on that thing. So he thinks he can just pick it up right where he leaves off. Well, one little problem here. He can't pot down this phone caller. Right?
Fair
point. He can't move on and say, we'll be back after this, slam his fist down.
He used to be
Those
in
days
here,
are over.
secluded, 3 security guards outside. You can't get in here. He's sequestered in his own room and just pot you down if he doesn't like what you're saying. Here, you can't do that.
Berates people. Now, all of a sudden, guess what? Live mic. I got your steam release right here, big boy.
Well, don't worry. I'm coming to your house. We're going to do some tape review after the show every day.
Sean, who spells his name S-H-O-N, Sean, from Raleigh, North Carolina. And
hello.
He says, and if it's back in play.
Hello.
I hear you guys on the past about changes bringing a the sky is falling feeling. And West Virginia needs to do what it has always done and bow up. I totally agree. However, a couple of things really feel different this time. I believe that there is at least one group of institutions, maybe two, that won't be pulling in the same direction when the time comes. Consensus has always been difficult for sure, but I just have this sneaking suspicion that consensus is something they are not all interested in, and I believe we already have evidence of this with the simultaneous expansion, college football restructure without full disclosure from last summer. Free market looks like the end game here, and that most certainly is a game changer for many. You guys are in business. What does the free market do to the weaker of the herd? We're not there yet, but not all that far away. So many want some structure to bring calm and balance, but I don't think that's a universal desire, which brings about more change than this old guy would like to see. The greed of the past hits head-on with the greed of today. Same cast of characters, but I feel fracture in the air, which probably isn't the best plan, but it's what the petulance of today tells them they want. The train is headed down the hill. Let's see if it can be stopped before it crashes. There's a lot there from Sean.
One of the problems is we're at this point now because there was not a free market. There was a very, very, very controlled market, and in that controlled market, the labor was free, and that built up over time. And then it was out of kilter because there was one segment of the market that was reaping all the benefits, another segment that was getting virtually none of the benefits. And it went on for so long that when it shifted, it has been and is a dramatic shift.
Senator, thoughts?
I get what he's saying. And I think that concern is shared by many throughout college athletics, and I think they've voiced that, and I think that's part of what this latest round, the move in the dark of night, in the middle of the night by Texas and Oklahoma. I think that's part of what got everybody so ruffled. That was there a move afoot by a smaller number of schools to break away from everybody else? I think that's a concern, but you're not there yet. You're not there yet.
One of the questions, and Alan Taylor wrote this in his story in The Athletic this week when he did the perspective piece on WVU football, and that is, once we have another reorganization, implosion, whatever you want to call it, would West Virginia be in the dance party, or would they be left out? Now, obviously, if left out, it would be just devastating. So that's, I think, what the question is. Will West Virginia have a position or a place if, in fact, there is a major glacial movement of everyone just moving away and forming this whole super league type structure? That's the big question.
Which you can't answer that hypothetical that you just put out, because a lot of that depends on timing. And that's why it's critical. You've got to win games. You've got to win games so that when that switch hits, you are not one, that it's impossible to leave you out, even in a small market, even when the revenue may not be the same as others. You've got to win at a rate that you stand up and you say, I don't know where it's going to be. We're protected. We're not going anywhere. You stay down too long, then you're vulnerable and you're in some trouble. And we know how quickly the perception nationally changes of you. We've seen that here on the national stage over the last decade. It changes in a hurry.
Yes.
And if it's down for very long, it is hard to get it back. So that's a critical question. You just don't know when that's coming. And when you're West Virginia and you're in a moment like you are now where you're rebuilding your two major programs, you need that restructuring to be down the road. You don't want that to come sooner. You need that later to give you a chance to get back up where you belong.
I agree. Something is happening right now, and they are discussions that are going on with what is being called the Transformation Committee. The Transformation Committee, because let's go back 3 steps. Do you remember recently each division of the NCAA 3, 2, and 1 all agreed for new constitutions? Okay. So now what's happening internally among the Division I members is, what is the new Division I going to look like? So what is being discussed right now will be invaluable and extremely important for West Virginia and other schools, so that the quote-unquote bigger schools or the blue blood schools can't pull away from you and leave you hanging. And those conversations are literally going on. I mean, I talked to Shane Lyons this week, and he said, I'm jumping back up to my office. This was during the basketball introduction for Coach P. He said, I'm going to jump back on now because the conference was going on, or the call was going on. They're literally discussing rules that will have massive impact going forward. You got to make sure that you're protected.
Okay, and so here's the challenge. Here's the challenge, Hoppy. You're sitting in that room, and we want you as part of this. Yeah, we want you. You just got done pulling the knife out of your back from what Texas and Oklahoma did when they were sitting in the room with you. So there's part of the challenge here of college athletics. Who do you trust? How do you make sure you're protected? And that's part of why I say all the time, consensus is so hard, because everybody's bringing their own needs into the room.
It is. You're exactly right, and it's so different from. Even though it's getting closer to professional athletics, it's different because in the NFL, there's nobody ever says, okay, we're going to get rid of this team.
Yeah.
Now, they might relocate to another city, but it's not like, okay, we're going to have these teams, but we're not going to have these teams. Very rarely, if ever, happens. So that's you don't have that at the college level. I mean, it's still so unknown. But you're right, Brad, about being relevant. You have to be relevant.
Win. That's what you can control right now. Win. Go win games. Win games so that you're bulletproof when the next shift comes. Easier said than done, but go win games.
I mean, look at Cincinnati, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, now when there's discussions, we got Cincinnati in the leaders. I mean, Cincinnati gets into discussions. Why, Brad?
Well, they've been winning games, and that's what I'm talking about the winning when that shift came. Right? They were perfectly positioned. They were crashing the playoff party right when the Big 12 needed to add teams. if they were coming off back-to-back 3-9 seasons, are Cincinnati in?
No.
Or are you going, well, I don't know what Cincinnati.
They took care of their business.
Handled it. What'd they do?
They won.
Won.
Yeah.
Go win.
Yeah.
Got to win.
I think this was a winning podcast. One issue the whole show. I mean, how about Skyler Howard's fantastic.
Tremendous.
Texters. Questions were great.
Don't start.
I thought the attack.
I don't know why he got combative, but other than that.
I just made one valid point. I think the product, when you're selling the product, unless you're a shyster, which you're not, the product does in fact matter when you're selling.
It's not all what you said. Don't try and rearrange
exactly
what you said. It's not what you said, and you spoke in general terms, which very rarely turn out to be accurate.
And what you did was you took what I said and reconstructed it to bolster your argument.
He would never
exactly
do that.
What happened. False.
Now you attacked him again, calling him a liar.
Yeah, I mean, really. I mean, you want to dig a bigger hole?
Bold-faced liar.
Yeah.
Lined up, call him a liar.
I mean, you want to make yourself feel better? Fine. You can also text me later with an apology.
Dude, we've been on for an hour and 20. I'm just freaking thrilled that he hadn't gone for his pee break yet. I mean, that's the biggest thing that's going right now. Let's get him out of here before we have to clean up the floor again. 3 Guys Before the Game brought to us by Caesars Sportsbook. Download, get started, risk-free bet, and get that $250 Uber Eats gift card. Comax Business Systems, full service, Konica Minolta dealer. Go to Comax Business Systems, ComaxWV.com.
They probably have a good product, easy to sell because they have a good product.
Yeah, Brad could sell that too. Guy can sell anything. See, Brad offers something, Hoppy, that, I'm not going to start. He can sell, he can also be on the air at the same time. A lot of people can't do it. A lot of people one-dimensional.
Well,
by Burdett Camping Center.
Go ahead. I was just going to say, I hope there's some news that happens around the state. Otherwise, he's got no show tomorrow. Don't know what he's going to talk about. Hope something happens. Go out there and find some news, everybody. Got to talk about something.
Brought to us by the Burdett Camping Center, the only warranty forever RV dealer in all of West Virginia.
Great campers. You can sell those.
Visit them at burdettcamping.com and make sure you take a look at the parking lot at the Masters if you're there. You see the Burdett campers all lined up. On behalf of Nota Begay, thanks for being with us.
Burger.
Special thanks to Skyler Howard. Back on Monday, Greg Jones, the great mountaineer wrestler, now UFC trainer, leader, will be with us. It'll be good. Hope he doesn't get mad at Hoppy. He'll come in and put Hoppy in a ground and pound.
Do a grapevine on you.
Yeah. Get you in a full Nelson. We're out. Thanks to Tyler County Consolidated, Jonathan Kennedy, whatever his name is.
Well, he lined up Skyler.
I'm aware of that. Yes, I broke that story. We're out. See you.